Hi again. And so here we're going to talk about actually using Piazza to make posts, to reply to posts and that sort of thing. One thing I might suggest is that you take the tour, right? It's a 2-minute tour for God's sakes. So take the tour. And then they're going to give you a demo class to play around in. Other things you can do is you can ask questions. You can certainly add more classes if other teachers are using classes, but we're not going to focus on any of that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the process of making a post and formatting that post and those sorts of things. So we're going to click this new post box right up here. Oh, help. How we love you so much. So we'll get rid of this. All right, so you've got 3 major kinds of posts that you can post. The first is a question. That's where you might have a question and you want an answer to that question. The next is a note, all right? And so in the note, you can then just put out whatever it is that you're putting out. And the last is a poll. And in the poll, you've got the ability to set up details and ask questions. You know, it's like a poll, all right? I don't know why you would use it, but maybe you would use it. We might use it as instructors for you, but, you know, I don't know if you're going to use it. Anyway, let's go to the question. And so we've got some sort of question title like, when is your office hours? And so we're going to put in something here like, hi, I tried to get to your office hours and you weren't there. Why is that? Okay. So, good. If we click this preview box, you can see what the post basically looks like right now, and you can see it looks a little boring. I mean, that's okay. Boring is fine. I have no problem with boring. But maybe you want to make it look more jazzy, right? Because, you know, you can. The thing with Piazza is that Piazza is a pretty skeletal HTML editor. So you need to use HTML tags in order to format your post. And so if you click this formatting box, you'll get brought to all of this stuff about formatting. And you should read through this at your leisure, because it talks about how to bring in different sorts of formatting. I will just show you one example, okay? And that example is all that you're basically going to need to pay attention to. So let's try this. So if we put a B in these angle brackets, and then on the other side we put a /B, that's what's called an HTML tag. So this sets up a kind of code to the computer saying, hey, make this text bold. That's what the B stands for. And so now if we go to preview, you can see that why is that is bold. And there's all sorts of other ways that you can format HTML, but that's just a little kind of like, you know, I guess, primer on one thing that you can do. You're not going to be expected to really do this very much, but I figured you might want to know about it. You can certainly keep everything as plainly texted as you want. The other thing that you'll do with posts is add tags to them. And tags are just a way to help us kind of like narrow down things if we're searching for them. And so the tagging convention in Piazza is to use the octothorpe, which is its official name, but you probably know it as the # or the hashtag. And so you're going to take the # /hashtag / octothorpe and then put the word for your tag after it. So maybe since you're a student, you would make this a student tag. And maybe since this is a question, you might call this a question. And maybe since this is just like a general thing, you might call this a general thing. All right? And so now if we preview our post, you can see that all of these things are now broken out in their own little boxes because those are tags. And the cool thing about tags is that tags will hang out. And so as you create tags, when you go to write other posts, those tags and the tags that your colleagues have created will also be there. You can add attachments to posts. And so that's just done by browsing, right? So you just browse to wherever it is and you find the file that you want and you put it up there. You're kind of limited to 20 megabytes. And then you have a couple of options. So you can say, you know what? I don't need this to be emailed out to the whole group, in which case you would just turn off the email notifications. But you probably don't want to do that. You can make this a private question, right? So the question would then only be visible to the instructors and not to the students. Or you can make this post show up as anonymous. And so you can make it anonymous to just your classmates or your classmates and your instructors. You might not have this option. It really depends on what we decide to do with that option. As instructors, we can turn off the anonymous function. And then you just click post my question. All right, and so now here's your question, right? Your question is posted. It shows up over here. We can see that it's unanswered. And so You know, the instructor can hop in when he's signed in or she is signed in, which you don't see right now, and the instructor can put an answer, or maybe a student can put an answer. You got some other things too, like you can like a post. So that's a way of saying like, yeah, I tried to come to your office hours too, but it didn't happen. Or you can decide whether or not you want to be following it or not, right? Just by clicking this box. And if it's one that you made, you can edit it by clicking this edit box. So you can re-edit your posts, which is nice. You can change different things here. You want to attach a file, blah, 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 blah. You can see what's going on there. And I mean, that's pretty much the way that it works. The cool thing about Piazza is it keeps track of the edits. So you'll be able to actually track the edits over time, which is pretty neat. And that's, you know, pretty much the way it goes. Click the new post box, make a new post here, and go that way. The other thing that will happen a lot is that we will post questions and you will need to come up with answers. So maybe you'll answer here, right? You can construct an answer here, or you can put a follow-up discussion, or maybe we put a follow-up question and then you answer those questions, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So that'll be going on in these areas here, which is a pretty neat little function. Okay, so that's kind of like posting 101 in Piazza. It's definitely something that you're going to have to be able to do. So, you know, watch the video, learn how to do it. All right, cool. See you around.